Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of the Joe Rocket Experience. We are here with Flabby Drip today. How are you, Flabby?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, I'm amazing. You know, I wanted to ask you, because obviously the only reason you've been invited today, not the only reason, you're obviously a good friend of mine, but the main reason you've been invited today is because of your new book, which is called Ashley's Christmas Twink, right?
Yeah,
So can
the
you tell
holiday
me,
oh, what was the
can
question?
you,
I'm sorry.
can you tell us a bit about that book?
Um, Ashley's Christmas Twing. When I wrote this, I'm coming into the holidays. It's early December, and I'm thinking I want to change it up a bit. I just finished the Art of the Deal trilogy, a masterful work as part of the Flyverse, and I'm like, I don't want to top
Indeed.
this. I don't want to start a new multiverse yet, but I wanted to come from a new angle and add to this multiverse. So what I did, I created a brand new character, a brand new woman called Ashley. She's super strong, super buff, super amazing, and she goes on the adventure of her life trying to woo Flabby Drip 84, the main character in the Art of the Deal trilogy. So it really brings it all together and also shows how a neutral observer views Flabby and how big dick romantic he can be.
That is true. That is true. You know, I think that book is very good. I have obviously read it, and I was gonna ask, where does it sit on the timeline compared to the other Art of the Deal books, which I have not read yet. I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. So I'll just I'll just take the time right now to explain the entire multiverse, if that's okay. So
Yeah, sure.
basically, the multiverse starts with Art of the Deal, the very first book, and then it goes to My Struggle, and then it's called a multiverse because it changes universes for the finale, Art of the Steel. Ashley's Christmas Twink is situated probably right. I would actually say right in between My Struggle and Art of the Deal. It's just right
That,
in between
that's
them.
great. That's amazing. Talking about the book, I've written some book myself. I've written some books myself, like the Brady X Weaver fanfiction. What did you think about that? Does it compare to your style of writing? How does it compare?
I think Brady X Weaver is. I think it's also very masterful. I wouldn't say it compares to Art of the Deal and the trilogy because they're two very different styles. Like yours is a amazing emotional romance, and mine are a dramatic adventure of a great politician, warrior, and writer. But when you get into Ashley's Christmas Twink, Brady X Weaver inspired me because when I thought of I want to get into a new genre, I saw Brady X Weaver read it, thought it was masterful, and me, with the competitive urge inside me, I kind of wanted to one up it. And when I
And
wrote,
I have to admit that you actually did it. You actually one-upped me.
yeah, I think both are masterpieces, though. I'm not going to go and say one's better than the other because I think they both have their own thing going on. But Brady X Weber really, it really inspired certain chapters like the bedroom and the holiday retreat because the emotional, the, em- the emotional parts of Brady X Weber were so huge to me that I had to capture some of that for this book, and that really inspired me.
Of course, of course. So if you have, if that inspired you, I've written a second Brady X Weaver book, which was never officially released. But the plot is that Sweeper gets imprisoned, and then Brady calls you to help and actually goes there to save Sweeper from execution on live television. Do you think that was a good plot? If I were to go
I
and
think that
actually finish it?
I think that would be very good personally. I mean, Brady X Weber is such a great novel, and you never really released anything since. And I think if you got back to writing and you wrote a sequel, I think that would be amazing. Maybe it could even turn into a trilogy. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
It could be the second great Trotu trilogy.
Obviously, with the first one being. Wait, did you hear that? What was that?
Yo, hold up, what?
Was that you? Did you say that thing?
No, wasn't it? Was there a glitch or something?
Yeah, probably. Must have been
Okay.
like my microphone or something.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure it'll be fixed.
Sure. Moving on. Do you have anything else to talk about relating to the books before we move on to the Q&A?
Well, really, I just wanted to, really for the books on this podcast, I just wanted to go and I just wanted to explain it all. Like, all these trilogies were a masterful part of the server, and I think they're very underappreciated. Like, I put
I
time
agree.
and effort, and I've had many struggles with people calling them illegitimate, people opposed to me selling them, and I just want to spread the word that that's wrong. I think regardless of who makes literature, I think we should promote all literature. Even though I think we should promote all literature and support it and be supportive of everyone, even if they're different and even if they're different styles, because I don't think the Trotu Elite should be able to censor and ruin what
Obviously,
is a great
obviously.
book.
I completely agree, you know. And the fact that I think it was Nexilitas the first that invaded you and destroyed all your copies of Art of the Deer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was horrible. That was, man.
it was horrible. And when Sweever stole an original copy, ooh, that
Yeah,
was tough.
that was very bad.
It was tough to see people disrespecting what I put a lot of work into and what is truly a Trotu masterpiece. I think these books, I don't want to sound big here. I think these books are probably the greatest since Zaniel, honestly.
Yeah, you know, I mean, do they even compare to Zenial? I mean, does Zenial even compare to you?
I don't
I
even
don't
think
think
so.
so. I think
I
you were
think
better than him.
I think Zaniel, if I had to compare it, Zaniel paved the way for all this. He did a great thing, but someone had to exploit the writing of this server, and while Zaniel did a great job, I don't think he had the emotional complexity and true characterization and masterpieceness of my trilogy.
Obviously,
Personally, he paved the
obviously.
way, though. I don't want to take credit away. He paved the way, and without Zaniel, these books would not happen. But I think these books are much better, in my humble
Yeah.
opinion.
You know, in my humble opinion, I agree with you. You know, I think Zenial, yeah, he was a great writer, but he did not have the experiences that you did.
Yeah, I
He,
mean, I think we need to do more to bring writing to all. Like right now, I feel like writing is controlled by the Trotu elite, by a select group of
by
people
people
on the
like Magellan writing politics, and they, they never let us write anything. They'll just call it fiction, and it never happened.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is fiction, like this multiverse, I've had an awakening. I said this was real, that was a mistake. These are fiction books, but they came from the heart, they came from the soul. None of this happened because I was dealing with bouts of insanity. It was a very sad story, really. Like I had to go to therapy. I had a lot of development
Who,
until
who
I
was your therapist?
who was my that's a good question. I can't really recall. I mean, I went for a while, then he called my book shit, and then I just kind of told him to fucking die. Like,
You just killed him,
yeah, I killed him.
based.
With words, though. I didn't touch a
Uh,
sword. No one linked it to me. This is not a confession, by the way. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I think all of this is controlled by the Trotu elite, and anything that's not pure nonfiction, pure politics, pure serious, like no one can have fun here. Books are meant to be enjoyed. Books are meant to be read, and when things are just written about the news and about politics, we're trying to bring culture to the server. We're trying to bring we're trying to bring culture, we're trying to bring fun, we're trying to bring enjoyment, and all they're doing is denying it because it's not political. Like, why can't I be non-controversial and political? Why can't I be fun? Like, come on, guys. I think the elite needs to settle down and let people do their thing, and I think we need more fiction writers on this server.
I completely agree. You know, before moving on, actually, I'd like to thank one of our sponsors, and I'd just like to say, shop at the Armory. Do you agree, Flabby? Should they shop at the Armory?
I agree. I've shopped at the Armory many times because I am not a fighter, but I've fought in a few wars, and the Armory has done wonders to my war gear. After wars, I would always go there to restock, get my gear in check. Love the Armory.
I agree. And actually, before moving on, I have one more thing. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I promise that today we will announce the winner of the giveaway. And the winner of the giveaway who won one set of netherite armor is none other than, who do you believe it is, Flabby? Who do you believe won?
I don't know who put in the giveaway, but based knowing the Trotu Elite and knowing how they rig everything, I think it's probably Brady just because he rigged it, honestly.
Actually, you would be wrong. The winner is Croge.
He deserves it,
And
though. Low key,
yeah,
I'm surprised. Thank
I
you for
would
being a
like to.
true, honest representation of pure Trotu values. Like, so many people. Thank you. You are the one uncorrupted source on this server.
That was not what you said about me during Chesapeake.
Yes, but I think you've changed. Like, Chesapeake was its whole thing, right?
Yeah,
You came back, and I think you've really I think you've really come into your own. I've come into my own, and I've changed my mind, and I want to give an apology. During Chesapeake, I fought with you because I truly wanted power, and that was a mistake. But the real enemy on the server is the true Trotu Elite that's been here a while, that's suppressed new members, that's stopped fiction, and I realized we should have been friends the entire time.
I agree. Can you give more insight in this? Who is the Trotu Elite? Do you know any Trotu members that are in the Trotu Elite? Or do you just
Trotu Elite,
suspect it exists?
I don't know anyone who specifically are part of the Trotu Elite, but I know I know many anarchists are part of it. I'm gonna call them out. Many people in Danreich, I think they've been here for a while. I think they're definitely doing corruption, and I think this all centers around Adeptus. They've been here
Of course,
corrupting the minds
yeah.
of people, spreading their religion, ruining the hearts and
The-
minds of everyone. And
Obviously, and whoever disagrees with them, they're just a heretic. And
I know
they,
they call people heretics, and that's what we don't. Nobody's a heretic. Everyone brings value to the world. Everyone, and I think that needs to be. I think that should be emphasized. I don't think we should call people heretics. I don't think we should do that. We need to bring inclusion and fun back to Trotu.
I agree. Flabby 2023.
Yes,
Flabby for president.
I will honestly. If you guys voted me in, I would be president of Trotu personally. I would do a great job. I would make Trotu great again.
Based. I'm actually a double heretic. Did you know that? I'm not only once heretic, I'm actually a
Damn.
heretic twice because of two things I did.
What did you do?
Well, one thing was during Chesapeake when I sat on the throne, and the other thing was, after so many people sat on the throne of the Adeptus, they decided to encase it into a box and fill that box with water. And I just saw that empty glass box as an aquarium. So I wanted to help them. I wanted to give them something useful, give them something to look forward to, which was feeding some fish. So I gave them some fish in the aquarium. But apparently that's also against the rules
That's against the
of
rules. Like,
the Trotu Elite.
see, this is why the Trotu Elite is so awful. They're so anti fun, anti enjoyment.
Anti-fish.
Like, who the hell doesn't like fish? Who the hell doesn't like an aquarium? And they're banning you from making an aquarium? Like, oh my gosh. this is another reason, and I just want to say anyone labeled a heretic in Trotu, they are the best people. Like, if you're labeled a heretic by the Trotu Elite and the Trotu Elite does not like you and the Trotu Elite wants to suppress you, you are the best people because you are not afraid to speak your mind. You are not afraid to advocate. I think that's great. Keep doing what you're doing. Be labeled a double heretic. Be a triple heretic if you have to. We need change.
I agree. Shall we move on to the Q&A though?
I would love to move on to the Q&A.
All right. So, people leave questions from one guest to another, and the previous guest was Potato, and he really had a question for you. But before that, I'd like to mention some other questions that fans of the show left on. All right.
Yeah.
So, Leon asks, are you planning on writing any new works based on or inspired from more recent events?
I mean, all of this is fiction. The Flabby multiverse. I want to write stuff that brings people enjoyment. I don't want to write what the Trotu Elite wants me to write about politics and recent events and about just the generic stuff. I want to bring people enjoyment. So I'm going to write what I want to write. Just, it doesn't have to be based on recent events to be fun. I can write based on anything, inspired by anything. I wrote something based on recent events about the Evermont stage of Mattel, Siege of Mattel. It was my least popular work, and while it was well done, it was not fun. It did not bring fun and enjoyment and culture to the server. It was just
You
kind of a
know, I
propaganda
think
piece.
I think the Elite actually censored you on that one because I was not even aware it existed.
Oh my, yeah, they must have censored it because it was too. It like the Elite. They only want people to write these non-fiction recent events news stuff. But then when we do write them, they get censored. So what's the point? They just want to censor you. They just want to ruin you. They do not care about you, and they are corrupt.
What do you think is the goal of the Trotu Elite?
I think they want to keep control of the server and prevent new, fresh, young minds from doing their thing. I think I think they just want power. I think they're all power hungry. I think they want to keep the current balance of power right now because they don't really they don't want it to happen. They want the old power to be in charge, and that's why I think they're so against Evermon. They're so against New World organizations because they're the new people, they're the new young minds of our generation, and I think we need more. That's why I joined Evermont. That's why I helped make Paler with you. That I wanted to foster
Yeah,
some new minds, do some new things,
you know,
and they just suppressed it, called it dumb, and I think that's wrong.
I'd like to think that the new world is the free world, and we
Yeah,
are actually the ones that are free. Everyone in the old world, they're all suppressed by the Trotu Elite, but over here, the Trotu Elite cannot reach us. I mean, they can try to, but they've never really gotten here before, you know?
I fully agree with that. I fully agree. I think we're better off here. I think more people should move to the New World to do their own thing. And eventually, when the time rises, I think we need to take back the old world and make it good for all. Because there are so many people who need saved in the old world. So many people who are in bondage, aren't free. That needs to change.
So your your goal would be global revolution against the Trotu Elite. Is that what you're trying to achieve with these books?
I don't necessarily want a global revolution. I don't want a political revolution. I don't mind if the elite keep their political power. That's fine. I just want I don't want there to be censorship. I want there to be freedom of speech. I want there to be all that. I'm not saying, "Hey, let's go revolt. Let's go take their things," but we need to do something. And if it requires a revolt, I'm down to take that. If it requires a peaceful protest, if it requires a war, I'm down for that. We need to bring back freedom of speech and we need to stop the censorship of this Trotu Elite. I don't care who's in power. I just don't like censorship, and I don't like when people aren't allowed to speak their mind.
No, I completely agree with you. Moving on, we have a question asking, did these books really happen?
No, they did not. As I've said previously, they were fiction. They're fiction novels. I went through many struggles with my identity, with myself, with mental health, to really figure that out for myself. And while they were inspired from the heart and from the soul and from the center of myself, I will say they are not real. I mean, like, I think they're just, I mean, people go on like, "Ooh, what," like, "Ooh," like, even when I know it was not unreal, but when I said it was real, people were like, "Oh, it's not real. It can't be real. No one believes it." Like, bro, why you gotta do that? Why are people so damn? I mean, like, bro, just let it be real. Let it happen. The Trotu Elite was trying to suppress me, and while I figured out, yeah, it was not unreal, they didn't give help to my mental health. They just let me go down, and I think that's wildly inappropriate. I think the Trotu Elite really there needs to be a violent overthrow because they've done too many bad things.
Completely agree with you. You know, but given the fact that you don't really know who these Trotu Elite are, how will you achieve this violent overthrow?
Honestly, I think how will I achieve it? I mean, I just think we'll get in the minds of the people, and even though we don't know, theoretically, if we take power from all leaders in the government and replace them with good, nice, non-corrupt citizens, theoretically, it'll have to get fixed. And honestly, I have a feeling, even if we get no one any governments and just target Adeptus, I think we will succeed because I think Adeptus is the center of this. Once we take out
I know,
Adeptus, it's done.
obviously, but who I think is also part of the Trotu Elite? It's gotta be the socialist, man. Every left-leaning ideology, they're part of the Trotu Elite. They're always so much trying to shame us for liking capitalism and stuff. Why can't we just be allowed to like things we like? The socialists, people like Omar, people like Fear, right? People like Magellan, they're always out to get us.
I agree, and they have suppressed every right-leaning group. Like, we go up north to the New World to form capitalist paradises, right-wing paradises. We have done so much, done such great things. We made Paler. Vale is up there. We got Evermond. They've just tried to suppress it. And honestly, that's why I apologized earlier for about it, because we fought among ourselves when we really didn't see that
The greater enemy.
the greater enemy was down south, and I think that enemy needs to be ended.
I
Like every
completely
time,
agree.
every time to we tried to spread our word and tried to prosper as nations, they delegitimized us, and I think that needs to end. They delegitimized Chesapeake. Like Chesapeake was a great empire, and it got ruined because
Because of
of
Adeptus, let's face it, it was because of Adeptus.
yes, it was
I've
because of Adeptus.
I've
It
said
was
it before, but if they were not about to attack Brady and they wouldn't have brought Amar into it, Chesapeake would still be fine and going well. But
I think
it was
sorry.
just their fault. They shouldn't have done that.
Honestly,
They,
yeah. I
I
mean,
think they saw how
they had a
powerful
plan.
we were.
I think they had a plan. Chesapeake was perfect. No internal problems. No nothing. There was amazing political reputation, and I think if they didn't plan, honestly, I think they used magic. I think they're witches. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think they're witches. They got something in there, the Trotu Elite, because there's no way they could have done this corrupt, evil stuff without having some unknown magic, some crazy stuff.
Do you think there was an inside person in Chesapeake? Do you think
I
anyone
think they either had
inside
an
of the?
inside person. I think they were corrupting with their evil, corrupt, communist magic. Honestly, I think that's what
I
they did.
agree. I agree. And I would think that there was a secret communist intro to. Have you ever read the Desk's diary, Flabby?
Desky, yeah, he always seemed a bit left leaning. Did you know he wasn't even from the north? He was from the south.
Damn.
He, I think that's what it is. I think he must have been using his magic on all of us. And when I was trying to save it, and I tried to take leadership at the very end because no one else would. Desky was the one who opposed me. Desky's the one who let Chesapeake fall. And
You
I'm
know,
gonna
if you go and read Desky's journal, it actually says in one of their journal during Chesapeake, before I died, it says something like, I'm gonna overthrow this government. They are not even seeing it coming. And I read that. I was about to announce it, and then I just overdosed. Which is, I
That's
mean,
awful.
obviously, I
That's,
I
I don't
was
think
in a
you
bad place
overdosed,
right
dude.
now.
I think it was Adeptus witchcraft. I think Desky realized his plan was getting screwed up, and I think it was witchcraft.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a bad place and I was abusing drugs at the time, but really, I don't remember taking so much so that I would be able to overdose.
Dude, I think your entire struggles during that time, the whole pissing rocks and shit, I think that was Adeptus witchcraft, personally. I think it
You
was
know,
just
I think that's also the plane crash, which I did blame on you at the moment. I think that was also Adeptus Switchcraft. It was all of that. They were
I
all,
think all the evidence of me being there, that was Adeptus witchcraft. It was all of them. They planted it. They put us against each other so that us capitalists would wouldn't be able to thrive. And I think that's horrible, and I think they need to be stopped.
I completely agree. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
All right. Demo Dozen asks, what is your opinion on Nesquik?
Nesquik, he was an interesting man. But I mean, in all, I've heard he is revered, he is thought of as bad by many people, and I just want to say right now, I don't see it. I
But
think every person, every man brings something of value to Trotu and to
but
life and all
you're
that,
you're
especially
saying
Nesquik.
this you're saying this from a writer's perspective, right? Like maybe Nesquik wrote a book that you liked, right? You're purely from a writer's
No,
perspective.
I think Nesquik truly, he he idealized what us true capitalist people are trying to go through. He he did his own thing. They called it he built Keoland, a great, amazing city. He tried to break away from Barun because Barun is corrupt as hell, and that's why we from Evermond invaded it. But no, he can't do that. They aggressed on him, and when he tried to invade Barun again to purify it, to make it better, to be to do great things, he they criticized him for it and tried to prevent it. When he tr- when he tried stopping new nations that were corrupt by the Trotu Elite, and people stopped him. He did what everyone tried to do. He tried to trap Obsidian Mechanicus in an obsidian box. That we need more people like that now. If people would just do that to Mechanicus, if we had multiple people and not just one who did that, we could truly stop Mechanicus.
Oh,
And
really?
and yeah, like Nesquik, he was not he was not a bad guy. He might have done some questionable methods, but the right he had the right the right way of going things. He tried to stop the capitalist lead. The he went against the Trotu lead, and I think that's inspiring. And even though he didn't succeed, I don't think he was. I don't think he was a bad person. I don't think he's something we should frown upon. I think he was a martyr.
A martyr of the revolution against the Trotu Elite.
Yes.
Do you also believe that the people like Red Effect or Pamet, were they also martyrs? What do you think of them?
I've never heard of Pommet, but Red Effect, I think he is a martyr too. He realized that it was all bad and that he just wanted to burn it to the ground, all the main parts of Trotu. The New World wasn't formed yet, and honestly, if Red Effect succeeded, killed all those nations, and left a pile of rubble for the new capitalist Great New World to form, I think we would be better off today. All the capitalist elite needs not the capitalist elite, the communist elite. all of the communist, all the communist Trotu Elite need to burn and be done because they are like a parasite on this world. And Red Effect and Nesquik, they they tried to stop it. They knew before we did. They knew before there was a true movement, but there was a true movement to fix it. They tried to stop it before it was too late, and they failed. And as bad as that is, I think we need to learn from them and stop it while there is now a significant movement against this Trotu Elite.
Do you, do you think that other people would be interested in helping this movement? What do you think? What other people do you think that would be able to join this movement, not just as a follower, but as a main participant? Someone like you.
Personally, I think it's very interesting. I think the people of Vale would be really good. I would try and recruit Brady, but Brady, he seems to have joined in with the Trotu Elite, and I don't know if he's trying to end it, what he's trying to do, but he's one of the few members they embraced, and they gave him power. And if he's not corrupt, I think if he hasn't been fully corrupted yet, I think he could be a great person to take against the Trotu Elite, especially because he helped us in Evermont, he helped us in Vapor. So I think there's something there. I think Crode would be a great person, great at fighting, great guy. Just an overall great. He also helped with that war. I think he could do great. Like a truly
And
great man. He would help make Trotu great again. I
and with
think.
the armor he just received, it
Oh
will be
yes,
even easier.
with that armor, it would be much better. And I mean, if I have to think of other people, Phalanx would be good. He's a great builder, great mind. Um, Overall, besides those people, I think we have the leadership in place. Honestly, I just think we need to get the people there. I think we need to get the people. It's not the people from the New World. The people in the New World know. We know about the Trotu Elite. We need to inform the real people down south who are being downtrodden and taken advantage of. Those are the people we need to get. And once we get those people and we have a majority, we will strike and we will win.
You know, Ares is in the New World, but they're very neutral. What do you think of them? What are they part of the Trotu Elite?
I don't think they are. I think they're very peaceful. I mean, I think they just try to stay neutral. I think before there was a Great New World, they were the one escape from the Trotu Elite. But they never really did anything to. They didn't really want change. They just wanted to live in their own utopia. And while I think that is fine, I think it would be a great disservice to not try and promote them. I think we should get them on our side. Their queen recently died, so they could use that as
That
motivation.
was that
Maybe
was very sad.
that was very sad. I think honestly, that queen they did a lot. They provide an escape as a great capitalist retreat. They have a shopping district. I think if I think the Adeptus witchcraft, I think they might have killed her, honestly.
Really, you think that?
I think they might have killed her. Yeah, those witches. Those witches, like literally, I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on Adeptus. Honestly, I can't take it anymore. They need to be stopped. They need to be killed. They need to be murdered. That was something. That was something. Nesquik got right. Adeptus needs to be gone.
All right, and I completely agree with you. We have one more question, the one I mentioned about the one that Potato asked you.
Yeah.
Why were you such a dumbass during Chesapeake?
Well, number one, I was not a. I did make mistakes. We were divided by intro too, but also it was the. It. I think Potato. He's really went against our core values. He led, but while he led, and he did provide a capitalist base, he did not do anything. He just sat there while we burned, while we were being dealt with witchcraft, and while he might have been a decent man, I don't know. I think the witchcraft maybe was taking control of him. I think the witchcraft controlled him and Desky. I was not horrible. I was advocating for change. I was trying to bring about the best possible part. I was trying to bring the best part of Trotu and bring it to all. And he just wanted to stop us because I don't think he shared in these ideals. I think he wanted to be a capitalist retreat, not a capitalist revolution. And I think that is awful because anything we should enjoy, I think the entire server should enjoy. And all those downtrodden
What
people
if
who could
what
be
if they
saved.
don't want to enjoy it?
They just
If
if they don't want to, like, this is the thing, right? They will learn to enjoy it. Like, capitalism is the right way. It is the only way. And once they see it for their own eyes, even if they don't want to, because it might be experimentally bad, I think they need to try it because it is the best way. And
what should what should we do with people that revolt?
I think they need to go straight to jail because anyone who would revolt would have to be part of the Trotu Elite. And I don't want to let that stand.
Part
And
of the Trotu Elite, or maybe just hypnotized by them? That's the
they're
real
hypnotized.
question.
I think we need to take them to. I think we should take them to. I'd like to call it like a retreat where they can work, they can get brand new jobs, they can help build up the great infrastructure. Maybe take a few showers, honestly, because they need to clean off their horrible witchcraft that's infecting them. I think, and the true leaders, they need to go there too. The true Trotu elite. I think they need to go there and they need to think about what they've done. And we can't stand to let these Trotu elite and these corrupt people, they don't deserve to be in our society.
What if we just ship them off to an island far away instead of eradicating them by sending them to places where they can work?
Well, Adeptus people and the Trotu elite, they're like leeches. They always come back. They always find a way. So the only way to fix them is to really eradicate them.
And how will that be made? Would we just work them to death?
I don't know. I think they could. I think they should take a shower to clean off their views. I think they could do a lot of help to the government. We could by they could help with experiments. They could help further scientific progress. And
All right. I
in
uh,
general, yeah, I think they need to. They will they will either be eradicated, be forced to help the government, or that's about it. Like, or they can change their views and become good capitalist citizens. But
what
there
do you
is no,
think?
sorry,
Go on. Sorry.
no, there is no world where they should be here, where they should be, where these witches and these people corrupted by witchcraft should be citizens that they should be citizens and they should be walking around along with the true capitalists and the true good people on Trotu.
I completely agree. You know, the same way Potato asked you a question, I'm gonna ask you, can you leave a question for the next guest that's gonna be on the podcast? The
Who's the
next
next
guest will
guest?
be Quintara.
Who'd you say?
Quintara?
Intara?
Quintara, yes.
Intara, I think he's a member of the Trotu Elite. Honestly, I want to ask him, what will you do to promote freedom of speech? What will you do to promote freedom of speech and to bring about true change on the server? What will you do? Because there could be hope left for the Trotu Elite. I don't think so. But if there is, I think Intara is one of them. He's been here for a long time. There's no way he isn't one of them. I want to ask him, what will you do to bring about good capital good capitalist free speech change and to stop suppressing other people? I want to
Oh,
know, what will he do?
all right, thank you. You know, I have one more question to ask before we end the podcast, and that's what do you think of Christmas, Flabby? Obviously, this is a Christmas special. What do you think of that? Is that also part of the Trotu Elite
What do I think of what?
Christmas?
I don't think Christmas is part of the Trotu Elite. I used Christmas in my book. I wrote a Christmas novel. I think Christmas is a great thing, but I do think Christmas is being taken by the Trotu Elite to be used as a distraction against the real change. And I think Christmas should be a good capitalist holiday, but it's just been
No
corrupted
more
by the Trotu
gifts.
Elite. What did you say?
No more gifts for Christmas?
No, I think gifts are fine, but I think gifts are pretty cool. I mean, gifts fund the economy, right? That's true capitalism. You go to the store, you buy a gift, and everyone buys gifts, and that funds the economy. And
What if it's
really,
a homemade gift and you give it to someone else?
ew, homemade gifts, no. Homemade gifts need to go away. You're not funding the economy. You're not being a good capitalist. Good capitalists spend their entire paycheck on Christmas to give money to the economy. Good capitalists spend Christmas giving the most elaborate, best gifts with all the money they have because they want to please their friends and they want to help fund the economy. That's what good capitalists do. Bad, bad communists, not capitalists, bad communists, because communists are bad. They they try to save money. They only give a half Christmas gift. They try to suppress the views. They try to like limit what people do on Christmas. And I think that's wrong. Capitalist Northern, through good capitalists, we are superior. We are better. We are just better in general. We have it right. And
Really?
these Trotu Elite, these Trotu Elite, Amarchists, adeptist people, they're pigs. They just need to be gone. They need to be slaughtered. Like there's no way around it. We are better. They need to go to the camps.
What
That's where
would
they need to
happen
be.
if a northerner, a superior as you call it, would breed, would have a kid with a socialist, with a adeptus member?
Honestly, I think that's fine, right? Because we are so much stronger that that child will be a purebred capitalist because we are the dominant gene. We are the dominant race. Honestly, in my opinion, I think we fuck all the socialists to create good capitalist kids that will snitch on their parents, and that could bring about the revolution, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think our time is coming to an end, Flabby. Do you have anything else to talk about?
Not really. I think I got all it out. I think we need to end the Trotu Elite, plain and simple. I think we need to bring back
I
freedom of speech. I think we need to bring
I
fun
agree.
and enjoyment
I
to
agree.
to Trotu, and that's all.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming onto my podcast, Flabby.
Thank you for having me. I think we had good discussions about how to make Trotu great again,
We shall make Troto great again.
as we should.
What is your first thing that you will do in order to make Troto great again?
I don't know. I think we got to get there first. Honestly, I'm not focused on what I'm going to do yet. I'm focused on getting this revolution done, fixing it.
All right.
I want to just we need power before we can do true action.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for
And
having me once again. Have a
thanks
good day.
everyone for listening. Have a good day, guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a Merry Christmas. Have good holidays. Uh, and yeah, well, thank you for listening to the Joe Rocket Experience. Goodbye.
Okay, trying with frequency 22. Is that any better?
Affirmative. That's 51.1% more audible.
Good, good. Any progress on the project at all?
What pro? Oh yes, your code is an awful mess. But with some time I can make it work.
Oh, thank you. How nice of you.
You're welcome. You know we can't do anything without the design for the large-scale convection thingy, right?
I know, I'm working on it, though I just can't keep saying I'm going on vacation every time I need to search for this thing. This time I will find it. I promise.
That is very extremely unlikely. I mean, since you have no idea where it is,
Oh, fuck you.
I am not.
I know, goddammit, it's an expression.
Understood.
Okay, so keep working the code and I'll be searching for this old fucking relic.
Very well. I must say though that announcing the antenna was a stupid mistake. People are gonna be snooping around now.
Meh, security is good enough. Also, I doubt anyone really cares about it. and I'm not gonna let you manage my stuff.
Just saying, if people press some buttons they can.
Shut up. Just stop being this pessimistic.
Acknowledged.
Alright then. All good. We'll be in touch. See you soon. Ganymede.